Hello, guys, and we know the last couple of days have not been so good, but we're actually setting up what could possibly be a massive liquidation of shorts up to a new all-time high. There's both some data from CoinGlass and, of course, articles stating this. So if you actually look at this, there's an insane amount of Bitcoin shorters are hoping it won't go to 70K, because if it goes to 70K, it'll wipe out more than $1 billion in shorts, and that's an insane amount, and that will push price up even more, possibly past 73K. Now, it is good to mention right now that the Fed has poured a lot of cold water on crypto, and that people are upset, really upset, that indeed we're not getting interest rate cuts anytime soon. But the amount of shorts stacking up from here to 70K is really, really massive. Bitcoin short sellers are probably crossing their fingers in hopes that the asset won't return to 70K in the near term, with a huge amount of liquidations at risk if it does. So we can actually wreck a lot of short sellers if we even move it up around 8% right now, because that's what it would take. Less than 10% rise, a lot of those will be liquidated. Basically, it shows a staggering 1.67 billion of short positions will be liquidated if Bitcoin returns to 70K, a price level it has been trading under since June 8th. So since the beginning of June, we have not been above 70K. There is an insane amount of Bitcoin short liquidations piling up at the top side. According to CoinMarketCap, a 7.46 increase from the current price of 65K will bring it to 70K. Some people are thinking markets are incredibly bullish right now. I don't necessarily agree, because I think people are being scared right now by the interest rates and the fact that they're not coming down. Bitcoin open interest, which is the total value of outstanding or unsettled Bitcoin futures contracts across exchanges, has dropped 10.99 since reaching its all-time high on June 7th. But the thing is, like, the Bitcoin OI is 82% higher compared to January 1st. Of course, there's a bunch, like I said, if you look at the data right now on the liquidation chart, you can look on the 30-day right now, and there are a lot more short liquidations than long liquidations right now. And a lot of them are gathered from a 65K to 70K, and it doesn't stop at 70K. So it is possible we get a double liquidation if we can actually liquidate up to 70K. All the way up to 73K, and there is a huge amount of long liquidations. If you look at the 30-day on the liquidation chart, there's just not that much cumulative on the shorts part, and there's a huge amount on the longs part. And right now at the price point, we are much closer to the longs. However, like, we've been swinging back in this price point. I think there might be a bunch of like shorters that are just really trying to get us to stop us from like starting to liquidate around 66, around just above 66K. Because if you get that ball rolling, obviously it's easy to liquidate up and cause $1.57 billion worth of liquidations, which they really don't want. It is a really insane amount. Usually when we look at this graph, it's about even on both sides. Right now, it is not even on both sides. We are much closer to the short liquidations. And look at the red line cumulative. Like the red line cumulative for shorts is pretty much flat all the way up to 58K. But when you look at the cumulative for liquidating shorts, it is way up. It just keeps going up. Like if you look at, for instance, 70K, like the cumulative short leverage is like over $2 billion. And if you look at from 72, it's $3.72 billion. If you look at like 58, it's only $1.09 billion. So basically, it's got the shorts have basically like a 2.5 to 1 over longs, and that's very rare to see. So once we start liquidating, the shorts will actually liquidate much faster than longs, but the sentiment is actually still negative right now because of Jerome freaking Powell. If he actually was just a little bit more dovish, I bet we could actually start some of those liquidations. But if we trigger it at 70K, we might liquidate up to an all-time high, and that would be a pretty big pump, probably more than 10% at this point. So for the short sellers, there is a massive risk of cumulative liquidations all the way up to 73K. And like the big whales could actually be setting up for that, especially with the minor capitulation. They definitely could be completely setting up with that, because like I think some of the big players could easily buy some Bitcoin and trigger those liquidations essentially up to 70K and gain a lot from them because, they liquidated shorts, like over $400 million worth of shorts a couple of days ago, but now there's not that many left. And if they go bullish now and kind of like just follow the stock market at this point, they've got a lot of shorts to actually liquidate, and they could actually push the price up, maybe even past its all-time high. Obviously, some analysts like Willy Woo, they're already saying that like this is going to happen and that we're going to get a huge liquidation for almost sure. Willy Woo is actually saying that we need a solid amount of liquidations still before we get all clear for further bullish activity. But these liquidations will spur bullish movement. So right now, the liquidations chart and especially the shorts liquidation charts is very, very dangerous for the bears. But we need a trigger to move up 1,000 or 2,000 points to start those liquidations. And Jerome Powell is not helping. But any kind of bullish sentiment, any kind of bullish news could easily start triggering these bullish liquidations of shorts and bring this way up. So the whales might actually be kind of setting up for this, where they just like start pumping and then they just start liquidating the shorts, which would boost us up higher and higher. And there's plenty of shorts all the way up to 73K. So we could be setting up for a major green candle based on the liquidations. But like I said, there needs to be a trigger, and right now there doesn't seem to be one there. But whales can do that at any time, so I'm hoping the whales are planning to do that sometime. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.